Oh, we're good. We're good. We're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Brickballing. I suppose, well, it's not really an episode of Brickballing tonight. As of right now, we're going live at 8 o'clock with our usual show, but we just thought we'd start tonight just by talking about a good friend of the show, someone who came on. And yeah, we're going to try not to get too emotional, as I already am as soon as I started talking. And we're just going to hopefully just talk about our experiences that we had just really briefly, and we're going to bring on our guest who's just joining us. It's not going to be too long, guys. We're just going to have a quick chat, talk about what we need to talk about, and then obviously we'll go on with our show. We believe the best way that people would probably want us to do. So obviously the heartbreaking news came this week in which offensive coordinator of GB and of Tamworth Phoenix, Dan Smith, unfortunately passed away. I think it was Saturday, I think, when the news started to break. So obviously there was a lot of orange hearts going up on Facebook, and I think as the night went on, people started to realise what had happened. We understand if people aren't watching, and tonight's not about the show or anything like that. Like as I said, it's just a quick chat, quick nods, and a bit of respect for Dan. So thanks for everyone who's joining and watching. We'll try and make it as tasteful as possible. But again, we're not going to go on too much. Adam, any thoughts, obviously?
For me, it was, again, like you've said, it was a shock to us. I mean, we just had him on the show a few weeks ago, and like we said at the time, our mind was blown about the way that he handled things, and he gave us stuff that we can pass out to the community to help get the sport better, basically. And I don't know, mate. It's
a tough one, isn't it? I think we toyed with a couple of ideas. We was just going to not do a show full stop tonight. Then we toyed with the idea of just not kind of mentioning it and moving on. And as probably Dan, who wasn't very, from my understanding, up on social media and probably would respect that, he probably didn't want it publicising as much as, but I think we thought it right that we at least have a quick chat, share some thoughts, and obviously I think there's a lot of the Brickball community who just want to share theirs. More importantly, I think we didn't know him as much as probably the guy who's joined us tonight, who's also a good friend of the show, Brickball. He's played under Dan, so we'll bring him in, let him kind of share his story. So I think, Angus, thanks for joining us tonight, bud. Obviously not, hi mate, you're all right. Not the best situation, but obviously, thanks for reaching out and just saying you wouldn't mind coming on and talking to us. So really, it's just, how did you how are you feeling at the moment? Yeah.
I think it's the same with a lot of people in the team at the minute. It's a really weird stage of shock. I mean, when I got the news, obviously before it was released on Facebook for other people, but it was disbelief at first, because obviously a 34-year-old, you have this natural perception in your head that, the old die, and, until you get old, you're kind of fine. And when it's someone that's young, it's crazy, and it doesn't really make any sense. And then I think it didn't really hit home properly until you start informing other people, or you start hearing from other people and talking to other people about it. I think when you're talking to one person about it, when I was being told about it, it kind of just seemed surreal. Like, you're thinking, if this is a joke, this is the worst joke I've heard. And then you're just trying to deny the fact that it is possible. And I think I've said this to a lot of people. I still don't think it's really going to hit home for any of us, sadly, until we're next either down at training, maybe even that first game. I think for me, it's probably not going to really hit home until, I look to the sideline for the next play call, because those of you that have played us will know that we do a lot of our play calling signaled in from the sideline. Dan always calls the play. And I think that's when it'll hit a lot of us, as we're looking there. And No offense to, whoever is on the sideline in our future seasons or whatever, but, it's going to be really, really weird not having Dan there.
Yeah, I think he would have, from my understanding. Again, I didn't know him as well personally as I probably would and should have liked to have. But I think he liked to fly under the radar a little bit. I think he didn't mind Jason and Martin previously taking all the accolades, and probably wouldn't have wanted as much hype around as what people are doing at the moment. But I think that really shows the amount of people he's impacted. I follow a lot of the Tamworth guys in particular on Facebook and Instagram, and just seeing not only that but coaches across the UK really outpouring the love for him and the impact he's had. And you must know more than anyone how much he's developed you as a player. And I suppose one of the things that was always true with Dan is how much he loved football. We can never get away from that, can we?
Yeah, definitely. I think the thing that was really nice about Dan as a coach, both for I think everyone that's been with Dan at some point can agree that you have these moments with Dan where you get the one-to-one coaching, and he'll take you to one side and he'll work with you on something you're really good at, and he'll make you aware of little weaknesses to improve on, but he does it in the right way. There's some times where he'll take the piss, and there's other times where he'll have an honest sit-down chat. He'll let you know for real what you need to improve, what you could do to make your game better generally. But like you said, he was never really someone that wanted to be given credit for doing anything amazing. And I think you can 100% say that what he wanted to do all of his talking through the way we played as an offense. I think one of the biggest shows of that is when we were at the Brick Bowl final in the last season we had. I think one of the nicest memories for me is when we went 2 scores into the game and we were beating the Warriors for that brief period. Dan was loving it. He was laughing because at the time when we had the vuvuzelas in the stands and everything, the Warriors were down and they were having to figure stuff out. And it was the first time all season that the Warriors had to figure something out and were sitting there and they were shouting at each other and everything like that. And that was Dan doing his talking. Other coaches say, look, some cockiness and that sort of thing. But for Dan, it was, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to do the stuff behind the scenes. I'm going to work with my players to get them better. And then what happens on the pitch will say everything I need to say. And that's, I think, what so many people out of Tamworth stayed and played under Dan for, is because you of this system that he built and you understood that that's what happened on game day.
Yeah. I think that's a really important message that's coming across more than anything. He didn't do a lot of talking, and I probably mentioned he probably wouldn't be over the moon us talking right now, but I think the right thing was to do was to talk about the good things that he did, and the pulling you to the side and having the quiet word. And I've seen the text messages that you shared and stuff. I think those are the kind of things where every good kind of head coach probably needs a Dan in that sense. And Jason does a lot of talking. Jason's fine with that. But I'm assuming that Dan played that role to perfection within that Tamworth success, and I'm pretty sure his legacy will live on within that Tamworth ranks, won't it?
Yeah, definitely. I guess I don't know if Pat will see this or Patrick will see this, but for guys that have been quarterbacks under Dan, the way that it works in terms of the play style, and there is a massive level of chemistry between an OC and a quarterback. Some may realize that might be a really obvious thing. Other people might not, because when a coach calls a play, he can't tell you from the sideline what he's seen and why he's calling that play. But the more and more you get to know them, the more and more you understand, okay, he's calling this concept because, we might have a weakness in the defense there, or there's just a weakness in the coverage. And that you need to look for that. Other times, Dan would literally pull me over to the sideline as if it was a game of Madden, and he'd be like, throw the fade. Calling this play, throw the fade. And for that one play, I am just a key player in Madden. He's pressed whatever button it is and the fade is getting thrown.
Yeah.
85% of the time, as long as I do the throw well enough, it's exactly what he wanted. It was exactly what he saw. And he had that ability to set things up so well that in the situation, if he wanted to take a shot without stepping on the field, he could take a shot by telling someone on the field to do something. And I think that was one of his best traits. And to an extent, it really made playing the position a lot easier, especially as I was coming into the team and taking over after Patrick was away, it took a bit of a load off me as a player, and the team as well, in that you felt like you would be trying to do everything you could. And even if you felt like maybe I've just not got enough today, Dan would be there and he'd have a backup plan. And he did it all in his head. You see these coaches with the scripts out and everything like that, ticking it off. And that's a great way of keeping track of the game. But he had the ability to do this in his head and just fire out the next play after play after play, and set 10 plays up ahead in his head and just run through them like it was just scripted nights and nights before. And, I think that was one of the things that just makes it so easy to run in that system, was just this confidence that he had your back, even if he's not on the field.
Yeah, no, and I think that's, and hopefully, you can remain in that mindset moving forward, and, we can all use this as a positive step and understand that Dan, just loved football. From what I gather, he really did just love the game, the way he talked about it, his enthusiasm. Not the most extroverted person in the world, but probably in the same respect, then loved that X's and O's side of it and drilling down, and that's probably what brought him the success. And, in his, at least he reached the accomplishment and the high heights that he did, in that he was the, OC for Great Britain, and he kind of achieved a lot from what he had to do in British American football. He's won a national championship, so I think there's more positives to think about for a lot of people in this, in terms of he'd done it, he nailed it all in British American football, as far as an OC is concerned, in my opinion, anyway.
Exactly, and I think the thing that's so impressive about what he's been achieving recently is just the fact that it's not just, he's not only worried about performance, he's not only worried about achieving those things for himself. It was the fact that he would take time away from focusing to help other people learn and understand what he was trying to do. So there'd be times where he'd do a film session for a specific group of people, or maybe even a film session for Great Britain. And he'd contact me and he'd be like, I've just done this film session. I have no idea how it went. And I'd be like, okay, well, talk me through, what did you do and everything like that. And then he'd be like, okay, let me show you some of these plays. And he'd talk me through his process for, how he's drawn it up. I'd fire something back and challenge him a little bit. And it was the fact that he was trying to teach other people all over the teams of what he's doing and understanding. And he came onto your guys' show and did exactly the same thing. And he just lived for that. He's not just chasing all of these accolades for himself. He was so willing to spread all of this knowledge that he was picking up, and advancing the game so much more by doing so. I mean, he was bringing in, there were certain plays that, we'd been talking to each other this offseason. There's a few recent messages where we'd drawn some stuff up that, we were very excited about running whenever we finally get a chance to go back to the pitch. And I think hopefully we still get to use some of those. And I think the way he designed those, he's passed that knowledge on and that process on. And I think that's just going to further develop the game, even in his absence, which is, really powerful and shows that there is a legacy that he will leave behind.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. There is a legacy that he's going to leave behind. I think that the one thing that's very clear, he's had a massive impact on British American football. The fact that I play for an opposing team, Adam's up north, and we've all got our different experiences of him, but we all know of him, and he was always happy to help and reach out to different people. So I think it's definitely a legacy and impact that he's had on the game, which we've seen as the outpour in the past week or so on British American football, kind of social media.
Yeah, definitely. I also, on the point of reaching out, just so I don't want to forget, to everyone from all across the country that has messaged me or anyone else in the team, from opposing teams, guys that we play on Sunday, we're all family off the field, and I'm just really appreciative for everyone that's messaged me to check if I'm okay and check it with everyone else. It's this brick ball community where you get all these memes and stuff, and you're always aware it could be on me after a poor performance on a Sunday, but actually we are all close knit and we all do care for each other. And I think that is a really nice message and something that has been really nice to learn, even if it's come through such a horrible way of learning it. But again, thank you to everyone that's popped up to me or anyone else in the team. I really appreciate that.
I'd just like to point out to everyone, I mean, we've said it, I'm sure everyone's aware of it. If you guys are if you feel like you need to talk to someone, we're here as well. Do you know what I mean? You've got Lifting the Lid, you guys can go speak to, talk to guys in your team, Junto, but again, even us, just hit us up, you know what I mean? Like, we're here, we'd listen, like, this is it. I'm fucking, I can't believe it, me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, we were just knew him from coming on the show and heard of him, the stuff that he was doing at Tamworth, and so I can't imagine what you guys are like at the minute. But again, I just want to point out that if you want to rant, if you want to rave, if you want to kick off, just give us a message and do it, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're here to listen. Me and Mark spoke privately about this a few days ago, and we were just like, we were gobsmacked about all of this, and I don't know what we're meant to say here. Like, when we discussed about doing something, we just wanted to let people know that we're here to listen if you guys need to. We're not just the guys going on and getting coaches to come on the show and talking about the new league and stuff. Like, we're not just that guy. We're part of football. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm a former player. I'm a coach now. Mike's still a player. Like, we're here if you need word. Like,
yeah, no, I completely agree. It's just if anyone needs anything, I think one of the things that I love about this community, which is the best, we want to kill each other on a Sunday, but the rest of the week and year, it's a you guys use the term family, which I love, and I think it's more, it's really nice that now, because obviously you've got the British American football family. So yeah, I mean, for me, just echo what you both guys have said, and Angus, just really appreciate you coming on and sharing your interactions with Dan, and so we kind of don't want to labour the point too much and make it too thingy, because at the end of the day, he was a legend who done great things with British American football, and I think the most important thing for me is that's how he's remembered within the game, which is all positive. And I think, Adam, we've got a video, haven't we, that we, just for anyone who previously missed our previous show with him and seeing Dan doing what he does best, we thought we'd close out this little bit with showing that.
Yeah, so we're going to play the video, guys, and then we're just going to end the stream afterwards. Appreciate you guys tuning in, but we're just going to play this video and then end it.
Should I be able to say one more thing?
I was going to say, Angus, do you want to say anything last thing before?
I just want to say, as a massive thank you to everyone tuning in for a start. It would really, it means a lot. I know Dan, like we said, isn't the biggest on media presence, but so many people watching, really showing how many people cared for him. I think he always actually doubted his ability sometimes as well, and you had to reassure him. But likewise, if I could pass anything on from this and this incident, is having gone back through my messages and read what Dan had said to me, and I know other players have done the same thing. If there's any coaches or even any other players watching this, if you could send a message to your players, just letting them know what they do well, maybe what they could improve on, just check in on them now, because you might not realize it, but that sort of feedback is so powerful and can be so meaningful to that person. And I really think that is something that makes our team so close. And we always have this family thing, but if every team could incorporate that and every player had some sort of knowledge of, that they're appreciated within the team, I think that could be a really powerful outcome from something like this.
Definitely.
I think, yeah. But yeah, carry on with the video. It'd be nice to see Dan.
No, thanks so much, Angus, for joining us. And like I said, the video will finish and then we'll head out, and we're going live again at 8 anyway. So we'll see you all then, hopefully. Cheers, Angus. Thanks so much. I am so excited for this one. Really, I'm really excited for this one. We're joined by offensive coordinator Dan Smith from the Tamworth Phoenix. So, hi Dan, how are you doing?
Hi guys, not too bad, thanks.
Yeah, good to have you on, mate. So, the mastermind behind the national championship Tamworth Phoenix offense, and I'm right in saying, am I right to say, yeah, Jason grassed you up the other week anyway. Offensive coordinator of GB.
Yeah, going forward, not really done very much with it so far, but yeah, looking forward to getting started with that properly.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone in the north is also looking forward to you getting started with that.
Yeah, well, I guess when I was at school, sort of played a little bit of Madden and some of the video games and stuff, and I'd seen a bit on TV and stuff, but when I went to University of Sheffield, was like the freshman fair or whatever, thought it was.
Told you it wouldn't take long for the dishes to start, though, didn't I?
Sorry.
Yeah, saw American football as an option. Thought I'd give it a go. Sort of tried out rugby as well at the same time. Sort of played rugby most of my life beforehand, and just I guess got on with the American football guys a bit more and stuff like that, and just carried on, I guess. And yeah,
and now you're here.
Now I'm here. Yeah, now
highlight of your career, this, by the way, Matt.
I know. Started from the bottom. Now he's here. You've made it. You've made it, Dan. This is it.
Try and run what I think will work. Get with what we've got against who we're going to play and all that sort of stuff. I mean, last year, 2019, we lost. I think it was 17 players from our offense from the year before, from 2018, that went to Brit Bowl, and that was including like 8 starters, like half the O-line, starting quarterback, starting running back. So last year was a bit of a throw everything at the wall, see what sticks, see what we can get to work, and it just about worked out towards the end of the season. But I guess always generally sort of shotgun type stuff, up tempo, and then even when we run sort of 2-back stuff, I sort of consider it like a spread offense. Really, it's sort of spread offense sort of principles, but it's just got a guy in the backfield. So that's probably the outline stuff that we do. I was just going to quickly go through sort of how we track stuff. So I mean, this is the game plan I use on a game day. It's basically about just under A5, so I can fit it in my pocket and not be seen again. That's just sort of a scoreboard thing and timeouts and stuff like that. This is from the 2018 season. So this is how we used to track the offense, and it's sort of the goals we were looking for each game in terms of what we're looking for passing yards wise, looking for efficiency wise, all that sort of stuff. That's what we were trying. They're the targets we were setting ourselves that week, and the ultimate goal being trying to win Brit Bowl. We have to set ourselves pretty high targets every week to be as good as we can be, and then obviously that would help lead where watch film and sort of say what you're trying to address. And I think it's a good thing to watch. And if you one game here against EKP, we were particularly bad on third down. Well, I need to go back and look at what I was calling on third down. Why is that the case? All that sort of stuff. And then just sort of tracking these stats really with all the players and stuff. And then similar to again what Luke had, is the sort of list of all that's like the whole season essentially, of everything we're doing. Trying to see if there's anywhere where we just run the same play for several plays in a row. So there you go. There's a run of running stretch a lot. There you go.
Who's that again?
Do the favour, Dan, at the top there. Just do a filter on stretch.
Okay, fine. So there's 557 plays in there. We ran stretch a lot this year. It still says 147 was stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like one left for Titans. That.
Oh no.
There was a little bit of a disgusting thing on your targets where I saw the yards per carry against us was 12.5, and I was like, oh god. No.
Yeah, I really get. I mean, we averaged 9 yards carry last season, and we had a pretty good season. We scored 76 touchdowns. So
the
It's
away
not
game
bad, that is it really?